In this lesson, I'm going to show you a little trick with making these splines. Sometimes they're going to have to change direction. Sometimes it's hard to figure out how to do that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is, let's go to the layer manager. Make sure, yeah, boiler's on hidden. Let's unhide all. No. Okay. We have this orange line right here. I'm going to F3. Goes back, curves around. Let's grab the boiler. And let's hide unselected. Okay, I'm going to make like a circular line. There were a couple on here before. Right around this section. So I'm going to do is Shift and B, which is my shortcut for back viewport. And I'm going to go to the splines, which are under shapes. I'm going to select circle. I'm going to drag one out just like that. Apparently I have thickness renderable still selected, so that when I drag out a new one, you see it has some thickness to it already. That's from earlier when we were creating lines. We had that renderable checkbox checked. I'm going to bring that approximately to the position I want it. And you can see it's not conforming totally to the surface of the boiler, so that means the radius is a little big. So let's just, by eye, hit F4, pull it down a little bit, and let's move it up a little. I want to make sure it kind of feels like it's right on that surface. Shouldn't be any real gaps. Okay, that looks pretty good, a little bit smaller. See, rotate around and you'll see better what's going on. Okay, let's check that side. And let's just shift it down a little bit. Okay. Notice it's a little choppy. So what we're going to do is an interpolation. Let's bring that up. We talked about this earlier. I'm doing 12 right there. And 12 doesn't look bad. I mean, again, we're not going to be terribly close to this probably. If we were, we can go with more. And now that we have that, let's make this an editable spline, which we did. Okay. F3 on your keyboard. Save your file if you haven't. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to segment, select 1, 2, a little hard to see, but from here to here there's a red line through the middle, those two segments. Let's deselect this one. Let's just get rid of this segment. Delete it. Hit delete on your keyboard and you'll see that that segment then disappears. Okay. And now what we're going to do is going to attach this spline to that spline. Segment. Attach. Attach that. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the create line. I'm going to hit S for snap. And you're going to want to right click on your snaps toggle. Make sure that it's set to vertex. Right now it's edge and segment. I'm going to deselect that. Set it to vertex. Click out. And now when we go to create line, you'll see a little crosshair. It's yellow. Maybe difficult to see, but you'll feel your cursor kind of snaps to it. I'm going to click. I'm going to hold down the button. I'm going to reach the next point, and I'm going to release. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to click. There we go. And then right click. Okay, we have a straight line segment that goes between the circular shape and that line that was existing. Turn off create line. Let's go to the turn off snaps, S. And let's select these two vertices, F3 to see if you have them. And we're going to do what we did earlier, which is to fuse and weld those vertices. So first fuse, then weld. Let's do the same with these two right here. We're going to fuse, then weld. There we go. What I'm going to do is come here and make this a Bezier. If it's not, it's a Bezier corner. I don't want that. I want a Bezier. Okay, and you see it kind of crimp the end. That's because of the length of the handles. There's like a little I don't know, it's overlapping a little bit. So click on the Y. Let's just drag that handle down a little bit. Maybe we'll move this vertice up a little bit. That helped. The handle may not work. It didn't work just now, but again, it's not tragic. Okay, we're going to come in and we're going to grab that corner vert. And let's make it a corner. This is something different. So now it's a corner. I'm going to try fillet as opposed to using a Bezier. And look at that, that's kind of cool. So right there, let's hit F4. You can see now that that is one continuous line. And if you had to think about how to lay that thing out, on the fly as you're drawing it. It would be pretty difficult, but this is a good way. You can kind of take two of them and just, you know, connect from one to the other, finesse it, and we have a nice result. I mean, you have a spot here. We can just move this vert a little if we need to. There we go. I mean, it's not tragic if it's not perfect. That looks good. Again, it's made by hand. It shouldn't be CG looking or look like it's out of a CAD program. So I'm going to unhide the rest of the objects. Unhide all. I'm going to say no. Okay, and you can see now that that line runs from back to front, curves around the top. If we need to do anything on the other side, we can always do that as well. With that, I'm going to pause the video. And in the next video, we'll make some little, they're almost like footsteps that go on the sides of the boiler, little details. So that's the next lesson. I'm going to pause the video.